this is Animat, and welcome back to the Muppet Vlog. Now this time we're going to be looking into the 15th episode of Season 4 of The Muppet Show, which includes Anne Murray. Now, for those of you who are unfamiliar with Anne Murray, she is actually known to be one of the most popular Canadian singers who ever lived. She actually has a giant list of awards that she has actually earned for many of her songs and albums, which, by the way, she actually sold a grand total of 55 million albums throughout the entire world. And some of the awards that she has gotten, which actually includes 4 Grammy Awards, 24 Juno Awards, which, by the way, that is the Canadian equivalent of the Grammy Awards, 3 American Music Awards, 3 Country Music Association Awards, and 3 Canadian Country Music Association Awards. And on top of that, she has been listed in many different Hall of Fames. Some of these include the Canadian Country Music Hall of Fame, the Juno Hall of Fame, the Canadian Songwriters Hall of Fame, and also the Canadian Broadcast Hall of Fame, on top of being in the Hollywood Walk of Fame, Canada's Walk of Fame, and also Country Music Hall of Fame Walkway of Stars in Nashville. On top of that, Billboard recently actually put her at number 10 among the 50 biggest album contemporary artists that ever lived. And going into the episode in which Anne Murray actually appeared in The Muppet Show, I'm honestly just gonna say this right now, that it's very rare that I would say this about an episode of The Muppet Show, but yeah, this kind of sucks. I'm not gonna lie. This was not really that good. It really wasn't as enjoyable as many of the other episodes. I mean, there is a bright side to this, we're almost close to 90 episodes in, and so far right now, we got a bad one, and the rest is actually quite enjoyable, so at least, there is a silver lining about the whole series, but for this episode, yeah, it really wasn't all that great. Now, the thing is, with the storyline, it is kind of wasted, really, because it's not necessarily a storyline, like what's going on backstage, it's more like a running gag, in a sense, where Scooter decided to bring his skateboard, and it's mostly wreaking havoc around the Muppet Show, and, what mostly brings into this is that, the whole punchline, or at the, what happens at the end, it's mostly that Scooter wanted to bring his skateboard and be involved at the ending number, and that's pretty much it, where we mostly see Anne Murray singing one of her songs, and then, we just see a whole bunch of other Muppets just skateboarding, and they don't necessarily connect, so it just feels like a bunch of wasted opportunities for nothing, really. I mean, honestly, it just has no point in general. And going into the other elements that are included, like the sketches and some of the musical numbers and stuff like that, a lot of it doesn't necessarily make sense. I mean, there are a few good ones, yet there are some that honestly could have been better. The opening number is actually Miss Piggy with a Hell's Angels style biker gang. No, guys, don't, please, no referencing Muppets Wizard of Oz. Where we see Miss Piggy and a whole biker gang just singing I Get Around, which honestly, I feel like the theming of it feels kind of weird in a sense, and I don't know, I just don't feel like there's a good connection here where, you have what's supposed to be this threatening biker gang with leather jackets and all, it's supposed to reminisce, it's supposed to be reminiscent to the Hells Angels, but then they're all singing this Beach Boys song, which, probably the last thing you can ever think of, as a song that a whole biker gang, with leather jackets, and they're supposed to be, scary looking and stuff like that. You can't really imagine them singing, Beach Boys songs. You're not gonna see them going on the side going, 'cause everybody's gone surfing, surfing USA. You know, it just doesn't happen. Maybe you'll see that in Wild Hogs or something, but not this, no. Or not with actual biker gangs, so I don't know. But then again, we are talking about, Muppet biker gangs, so what the fridge do I know? But anyways, there is another number, actually, the one afterwards, is another one I feel like somehow the theming and the song itself doesn't necessarily connect well, and it's actually Snowbird, where Anne Murray actually comes in to sing her most popular song. And what I feel like there's a bit of a disconnection here is that you got this entire, like, nicely made snow motif where it's like everything, like, it's meant to be all seriousness, it's meant to be calm, it's supposed to be all nice, and like you got this like this beautiful looking winter backdrop, and the only Muppets that are really there are just like realistic looking snowbirds, and that's it. But the reason why I feel like it's a little bit out of place with what they're trying to do is because the song Snowbird itself is supposed to be like this more country style song. And like even the beat, like you hear a little bit of a banjo, and it kind of has a bit of that western country feeling to it, you know, like the beat mostly goes like which honestly with the whole backdrop that they are trying to do, like I feel like it's better if they could save that more for a more subtler song, like something that has a bit more of a quieter tone, or the beat is a lot more slower. I don't know, it's just, I get what they're trying to do considering that it is snowbirds and stuff like that, but I don't know, like maybe if they could make it a bit more Muppety, then it could actually work. Like technically, yeah, there is like this random bit at the end for no reason where you have like a dodo bird coming in and he just says a bad bird joke. So that's pretty much it. And then like you do get some of the other numbers as well. Like Trug Trug Streak Streak is supposed to be like this kind of spiritual successor to one of the previous sketches that appeared like long before, maybe like in season 2 or something like that. Like the Hugga Wugga one where everything is set in the planet Kuzbane, and like you got these aliens doing this musical number. But this one is a lot weaker, to be honest. It's just not as funny, and it doesn't seem as creative as the last one. Like, the Muppets are not as creative, and the number is not as funny, so it doesn't necessarily work as well. And then there's another one, Is This the Old Sow, where you got this farmer, and, like, he's just, like, hitting random animals just to sing his little song and trying to have the audience involved, and that's it. And honestly, it's just, that's another one where it feels like a really weak number. Like, I don't know if they're trying to do this on purpose, but it's just that little number just kind of sucks, and it's just, like, I guess the best way to describe it is that it's kind of like an unoriginal and unfunny Muppaphone. That's the best way to put it. But the only thing that really does stand out is that, like, there are a few moments, like, he has, like, this pitchfork or something that he uses to hit the animals, and the pitchfork legitimately breaks off. Like the little prongs actually just break off as he hits them. So, like, that's probably the only thing that is memorable in that little sketch. And there are a few other ones as well, like, oh my god, there's one of them that's kind of weird, to be honest, and like, I don't know, they don't really explain it. It's kind of freaky in a way. It's called Dancing on the Ceiling, where Beauregard is in bed, and, like, he looks up and he sees there's a girl dancing on the ceiling. Like, they don't specify if, like, she's a ghost or something like that, because she kind of transitioned her way, like, just suddenly appearing on the ceiling and just dancing. So, it's honestly, like, it's something in which they don't really explain much, but it's kind of weird, and it kind of makes me feel uncomfortable when watching it. And then there was another one, what was it? Oh yeah, they do Muppet Sports. Like, that one, I have to admit, that's probably one of the better sketches that they do have, considering that they're in Scotland, and there's this guy who wants to go and eat the bagpipes, but apparently the bagpipes are alive. So, at least there is a bit of that, like, a bit something entertaining in there. And, I have to admit, like, it actually has a pretty good grand finale where, like, you just see the bagpipes suddenly just coming back, and, like, not only that, like, not only is he alive and able to eat people, but also, like, the little hole, like, the sticks that comes out of it, like, the pipe part of the bagpipes, like, they can actually shoot, so not only do you have a bagpipe that's alive, but it's able to shoot people. So that's probably one of the good things that I could say about this episode. And then at the end, also, on top of the Snowbird bit that Anne Murray appeared in, there's also the ending bit with everything old is new again, which honestly, like, it's kind of standard. It's okay for what she did in there, but again, like, it's supposed to be like kind of your standard sketch, and then suddenly the Muppets are on skateboard for some reason with no explanation. There is also another one, which probably, if I have to pick an actual highlight of this episode that is actually worth watching or it's actually good, I would have to go with Walk Right Back, where she's backstage and she's talking to Zoot, and then she's singing this song, and slowly but surely you see some of the other members of the Electric Mayhem playing. So that's actually a good bit right there. So, like, that's probably the best thing I could say about this episode, is that the Walk Right Back bit is actually pretty good. One additional thing that I want to say about this episode that is a bit of a downer that kind of does make this episode weak as well, it's surprisingly enough, I would have to say Kermit is kind of a jerk in this episode. Like, there are some times where you actually see Kermit just being mean-spirited, and that's it. Like, he's kind of being a jerk to some of his performers, and, like, trying to find schemes to pretty much get them away and stuff like that. Like, honestly, this is the kind of thing that I watch, and I feel like I want to go and see every single person who heavily criticizes the 2015 Muppets because they say that Kermit is a bit mean in that, like, in that series right there. And I want them to point, like, I want to go and point them to this episode in particular. If you want to see Kermit being a jerk, this is it right here. Trust me. Like, he's a freaking saint in the 2015 60s. In the 2015 series, sorry about that. Like, that's nothing right there. So yeah, I would have to say that overall, this episode is honestly not that good, and I would actually say that this is one of the weakest episodes of the series. It's just a little bit mean-spirited, a lot of the sketches are not funny, they're not that strong, and, like, I mean, Anne Murray does a good job, but she's not strong enough, or at least her involvement is not strong enough to really save this episode, or to have it, like, you know, have the episode be worth it to be, like, somewhat entertaining, or give a reason to actually watch it. I mean, there's only one of her songs that's actually, you know, be interesting to check out, but that's pretty much it. Other than that, it's not really that good of an episode, and yeah, this is one of the very few that I would have to say just skip it. It's not really that worth it. But anyways, that is pretty much it for this episode, so I just want to say thank you guys so much for watching, and hopefully, just hopefully, things will get a lot better in the next episode, but we will only know until next time, so see you later, dudes!